Hi, welcome back to Bite Forever. If you've been following the channel, you may know that I've written a few games for Sinclair ZX81. Also written one for ZX Spectrum. I might get onto that today, but we'll see. They're all uploaded to itch.io and you can download them for free and try them out. I've selected a few of the games to play here and also comment on each game, maybe mention some insights into code behind them. Um, as a bonus for the one person who might be interested, there's a link in the relevant videos to this. Now, I'm not going to give you links to the videos, just search the channel, they're all on there. And there's a link in the description to those videos related to these games to the GitHub page where you can see the source code. So yeah, we started off. I'm actually on a MacBook Air at the moment, recording this. It seemed like the best thing to use because you can record audio and screen capture. I found ZX81 emulator on there, or I downloaded it from the App Store, and this is actually quite a nice implementation of it. All these games will run on the Reels ZX Spectrum or ZX81. Most of them need 16K RAM expansion though. So yeah. So here we go. So first one is ZX81 Snake, and this is just the classic Snake game. Did this, I believe, for, as it says there, the retro program is inside, and Phase 101 Game Jam, which was a thing. Oops, just click there, which didn't want to do, so debugger. So that's actually a channel where they do this every so often, like challenges, programming challenges, for retro computers. Sometimes it's 8-bit, sometimes 16-bit, or both, and you can actually try and write a game based on what they request. And trying to talk at the same time as playing this, which is not a good idea because it's, as you can see, it does run quite smoothly, this game. I was quite pleased with how I managed to get it to run. There is a slight, it's a slight glitch sometimes if you collect one of the food items, which is what I'm trying to do. And I think that's just because of the way that I've possibly incorrectly implemented this game. So effectively, when you get a food item, you start out with two elements in the snake's body. Every time you get one of these grey squares, it grows by one, and each time that happens, it shuffles bits of memory around. At least I think I remember it doing that. It did seem at the time a little bit inefficient, but then it was assembly language, so it runs so fast that you won't notice it. Although you do slightly notice it. And I'll start again. And there's about, I think it's 192 is the maximum length of the snake. Now to get a snake that long, I did see a video of someone playing this actually. It was quite good because they actually got to a massive long snake. It was wrapping around the whole play area, and I was watching the video. I was worried they were actually going to hit the limit of how many you could get, and then at that point, chances are it would crash. Then I'm actually storing, I think, like the XY coordinate of every single element of the snake. Also the direction that each snake's travelling in. As I say, I did this without really like researching how other people had written this game, and I'm sure there's like far easier ways of writing this game. But yeah, it's quite playable. Even now, like I sort of enjoy playing this. But yeah, that was one of the early games I did, because you could tell some of my early games, the just tends to be sort of character block based, which a lot of the time that's what most of the games on the early ZX81 used to be like. Actually doing quite good here, got 46 going around that side. There's still a few things in this game I'd like to improve. For one thing, it's a fixed play area. There's no game over again. So there's no different maps. There's no different levels. It's just the same sort of speed all the way through. So it would be good if you like move to different levels with different barriers in the way. So it makes it a bit more interesting, and also speeds up a bit maybe. Maybe if there was some movable enemies you had to avoid as well, that'd be quite cool. So moving on to the next game. This one's called Slicer, and lost focus on the screen. So yeah, so the aim of this game, and by the way, this is a 1K compatible game, so you don't need a RAM pack to load this. And you basically got to get from the top to the bottom by avoiding all these things going across. So it's sort of inspired by Frogger, I guess, but it's a reverse version and quite a lot more simple than that. Although I wouldn't say it's easier to finish. I've seen some people, I think it's Modern Retro ZX Gaming, he actually seemed to complete this fairly easily. So then I basically saw that video and I made it a bit more difficult by decreasing the size of the gaps. So yeah, so you just got to get from the top to the bottom, and the keys are Z to go left, M to go right, and as you can see the player character is just a V. And it's N to go to the next one down if you can. Halfway, this is where it gets a bit more nerve-wracking. Oh, no. And funnily enough, when you lose a life, it just says you've lost. There is no scoring as such on this, but you can actually try and line all V's up at the bottom where that grey bar is. And when you actually fail, you can see the V's embedded in the part of the barriers that are going across. That I think that was sort of accidental, just because I don't redraw the screen in this whole game just to save a bit of code and memory. But it actually is fairly cool accident, really. So as you can see, I'm not very good at this game. So let's move on to the next one. What should we try? So, Scroller. So I don't know why I had the idea for this game. So it just came to me. I think I'd seen some other people writing a few games using the Z88DK C compiler, which is you run the compiler on a PC or wherever, and you just you get a .p file out of that, and it's built for the ZX81. So you don't have to write the code on the ZX81 and then compile it there, which would be possibly a little bit much. Although I'm sure there is a compiler native to the system, and I've actually tried to do a lot of that in the past. Coding stuff up on ZX81. It's quite fun. It's a lot more of a challenge, I would say, though. So this game, yeah, like I say, I'm not sure where I got the idea for this, but essentially what's happening is you've got to dodge the X's, but collect the dollars. So S to start. Let's try and remember the keys. It's O, so you can move left, right, and up and down with the OPQA, but also, and I'm probably going to be really rubbish at this, like when you get to a certain score, then the whole thing changes and it goes in reverse. Also, if you move to the bottom, I think if you move to the bottom, everything goes in reverse as well. So it's just insanely difficult, but but yeah, until I looked again at the itch.io page, I'd forgot that I'd written this game. And I can't think of it. Maybe someone can comment in the comments whether this is actually a totally original idea. I thought it was. I didn't really sort of see something and then think, oh, I'm just going to copy that game. I sort of tried to write it. I think it was just came to me somehow. So there you see, everything's changed when you get to like a multiple of 100. All the dollars and crosses invert, and also the player snake character there just inverts as well. So yeah, and you can tell it does run a bit slower being written in C. It's one thing about assembly language, it can be quite tough sometimes, but you do have a massive advantage. You don't really need to worry about like the speed that things are running at. So yeah, back on the top side now, and so you collect the dollars that are not inverted, and the X's, try and avoid them. This is possibly the best run I've ever done on this game. Again, I'm probably better at like playing these games when I'm actually trying to develop them, rather than coming back like a year later or however long it is. So, oh, that was dead then. Again, there you go. I've gone past 200, and it's all changed again. Yeah, so there you go. That's ZX81 Scroll Zone. Let's go to the next one. So some of these games, like this maze one again, it wasn't that long ago I wrote this, but I should say in 2024. But I sort of got interested a bit in how mazes work, how generating mazes work. And it's actually quite a complicated thing when you get into it. But yeah, this one. So you've got to try and avoid that little sort of those eyes, which is actually an inverted quotes. So you've got on the ZX81 especially, you've really got to try and like use the characters that you've got as best you can. There's not like the graphics quite limited, so so the aim of this game is basically to collect enough dollars to then unlock the door at the top. Each time the maze draws, it's random. If there you go, you escape question mark, because obviously this game just continues endlessly generating random mazes until you power off the system. So when you move along, so you get like a little breadcrumb trail, and so your score increases. But if the baddie there, if he actually goes over those, then your score actually decreases. So interestingly, although it will still have unlocked the door at the top, trying to get a high score on this can be quite challenging sometimes. It plays really smoothly, actually. I think oh no, there you go, you lost. Excuse me. So yeah, that's version 0.7. I tried to put sort of on the front page of these a little bit about like when it was written, just in case in 100 years someone sees this, if the world's still here. So that was, I've gone out of order now, so I went to maze. Okay, Invaders. Can't remember why I call it. Oh yeah, because it's Pirate Invaders, and I just shortened it to smaller. So there we go. So this one is quite tough actually. Again, so you can only move left and right on this. This is more like it's more like Space Invaders actually, but with pirates, right? So and you can see there, interestingly, it's Z or space to fire, because when I was playing this on the real ZX81, hitting the space key, which is on the far right, you can see in the keyboard at the bottom area there, it's not that easy when you've also got the OMP to use. So you've got a pirate ship, and you basically have to try and kill all these pirates, which are sort of peg leg sort of thing, like a stereotypic pirate. You also get this shark that flies across at the top, and then it speeds up every time you go to the next level, which does make it quite tough actually. Can I even get to level 3? Oh, just about. So now we're on level 3 and it's getting faster. Oh, I got the shark that time. See, the shark, it has a side effect of being able to eat the cannonballs that are being fired up as well, which is a bonus. There you go. So yeah. Oh no, I thought I'd run out of lives, but I've still got 2 more lives left. I might be able to get to the Jolly Roger, which is like where it flies. So this is like the sort of bad guy boss level, if you like, and you have to it's just one shot actually to hit this, and it doesn't look like I'm getting it. No, it's because it does move faster. Oh, I actually got it in the end. So then you get a bit of a respite. So now we're on level 5. So every 3rd level you get the Jolly Roger, the skull and crossbones, if you like, which they used to have on pirate ship flags, I think. I think there's a history behind all that. But so yeah, I got the score 152. I'm actually not doing too bad here, although I've said that now and probably going to get wiped out by that one at the bottom. There you go. So, oh no, 1 more life. I can't remember giving people that many lives on this game. I did actually, again, I saw someone doing a video playing this, and they did actually get, I think, to level 20 or something, which is incredible. I never thought anyone would get that far. So yeah, there you go. That was another one written in assembly language. What have we not done yet? Oh, this was an earlier one, Lander. So if anyone's come across the Lunar Lander games, it's basically that. So Z, let's select Z, and fire the engine. It's left, right. So you basically, I got interested a little bit. I was watching loads of videos by Curious Mark, and so he'd done a series on the Apollo AGC, the Apollo guidance computer, and I thought it'd be quite cool to try and like do a little bit of an emulation. Obviously it's not that much of a realistic emulation. You got oh, there you go. Crew did not survive. Rest in peace. So on the bottom right, you actually get a little readout of how many times you've completed it. You've got a fuel countdown. You've got an estimated distance to go. You're in program 66, which was actually the moon landing manual approach. I think the program we went into when they took control. You have to try and land on that L area with very little, if any. I was so close. So if you have any vertical velocity at all, then it's a crash. And I wanted to try and, so this is written in assembly language again, but I did actually want to try and make use of all 5 digits on the acceleration on or the vertical velocities on the right there, but I didn't actually get to that point. Yes, a good landing. That's a miracle. So you get the stars and stripes. So you succeeded, and then it repeats. So you can play an infinite number of moon landings if you want. This was the first time I sort of experienced a bit with something bigger than just a block size sprite. The character there. It's I was doing this in a manual. I was drawing it manually actually. I crashed again. So I was drawing that manually, but later learned, and you might see some of the other games that they're more like sort of sprites constructed like a block, um, out of like 4x4 or however many, sort of ZX81 pixels wide. And this is an example of that game. So I found, I think it should be Akumus. He had a really good video, and he's written a little app which allows you to create these sprites as just blocks of memory, which you can load in, and then there's a really simple routine for just dumping that to whatever position on the screen you want, which is really quite cool. And thanks to him for doing that, and that really got me into this kind of thing where you can have like sort of bigger size characters, although you've not got that big a screen area due to the resolution. But yeah, it's I actually went on and I wrote a bit of C code because it wouldn't run that app, although it was really good. It didn't actually run under Linux, and I wanted to try and do a bit of dev under Linux for ZX81, and so I just wrote a little C program, and yeah, that allows you to basically the same thing to create the sprites. Oh, I wasn't concentrating there. So this game, you might see some similarities between this and like Manic Miner, but obviously it's on a different system with different sized characters. So the main similarity is that there's bad guys, there's tokens that you got to collect, and that when you collect the tokens, it opens the door on the left or the right. And you would not believe, you can look at the source code, but you would not believe the difficulty in actually like redrawing this character walking left, right, using different sprites. When you go left, it's obviously drawing, and it's drawing it in a kind of an animated sequence. I was never really happy with that, to be honest. So I died again. I've sort of I could have gone back and then tried to this one particular level is quite tricky. It's just called room 3, but it's actually room 2. But then if you're counting from 0, yeah, for all the C programmers out there, of which I am one of them. So I should be able to just, there we go. You don't actually have to jump directly through the door. That was one of the things, if you see there, sometimes, oh, am I going to die there? No, I thought I was going to die, but actually there are a few little features of this game where you can get away with not dying due to sloppy collision detection. And then there's other times when you die when you didn't expect it, and it's really annoying. And one of the things in this game I was quite pleased with, and it was using almost like a game engine where the construction of a room is all in a configuration of memory at the end, sort of pre-compiled in or pre-assembled in. You can edit that. You can create new rooms if you like. They have to conform to certain restrictions, so the number of enemies, the number of doors, number of platforms is limited. But aside from that, you can say where the door is, where the start position of the character is, where the enemies are, choosing from I think I got like 7 different enemy types. I'll see if I can actually do this now. There is a time limit of 10 minutes as well. Oh, there you go. So anyone who wants to see any more of the game, download it for free on itch.io. What have we got? Crazy Roids. I think this might be the last one that I show. Is that going to load? Yeah. So Crazy Roids is basically like asteroids falling from space on top of you. You just have to shoot them and dodge them. This again, there's some bits of different. It seemed like every single time I tried to do a new game, I came up with a new way to try and make it more difficult to code. So if you notice, it is quite similar. I had a head start with this in some ways because I was using the ZX81 Pirate Invaders game. So you notice the similarities to that. The only critical difference is that all the enemies now are falling directly down, and you have to scroll them down the screen. You've got a little bit of random nature as well in terms of like where each of the asteroids is drawn. So you're sort of keeping track of that and then like scrolling them down the screen. Yeah, yes. With this you can sort of hide at the side. You see the flying saucer across the top, you get bonus points for that. There is a little bit of a glitch every time you shoot an asteroid, you see it just sort of glitch a little bit. And to get around that, I think you would have to have each asteroid. There'd have to be like a mini game loop that just went round and drew a frame of animation, and then no matter whether you shot anything or not, it did the shoot routine afterwards and then drew the frame of animation of the asteroid exploding. I never got to that in the end, so I've moved on to the next thing. That's one future improvement. So yeah, there you go. Crazy Ride, you can just avoid them if you like, if you want to play like that. And then there you go. I think, let's just see, is there any games I've not gone through? I can't remember. There's Fly, so that's I think, let's look at that. It's Fly Low, Hit Hard. So that's basically where you have to, let's remember the keys. I can't remember the keys. And it's ZN, up and down. What's fire? Space? No. I should have looked at the... Let's just reset that. I should have looked at the title screen. I think it tells you what the keys are. That's embarrassing, not knowing the keys to your own game. But this is quite a while since I played this actually. So yeah, there you go. S to start. X up, N down. I had that, and then space is fire. Oh, press space, but so let's just test that fire works. Oh yeah, it is working. See it firing there, but I think you only have one shot until it hits something, and then you can get a chance to shoot again. This is one of the earlier games that I attempted. First time I did anything that scrolled to the left, I got shot down by a surface-to-air missile. It happens. But yeah, with this scrolling from left to right, I think I used the LDIR instruction to do like a fast. Basically, I'm just fast mem copying the whole of the screen to the left by one, which makes it fast. But then you have to make the little space plane there, which is yourself, a player one. You have to make him or her not move to the left again, so you have to redraw it. So there was some little things in there that were quite complicated to get right. Yeah, I think I've gone through most of the games there. It's a reasonably long video, which I'll try and edit to remove any coughing. And I hope you enjoyed that. There's a debugger on this which actually looks quite good. Probably would have been useful to have this when I was developing. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press the like button. It only takes a second to do that, but it does help the channel and the algorithms that run behind in Google land. And also try and subscribe as well if you enjoy this sort of content. I'm obviously quite a small channel, even though there's 189 videos. The number of subscribers is quite low compared to what you see on some channels. So anyway, thanks for watching and bye for now.